Hello, hello, hello everyone, NecroVMX here, and welcome to my new Let's Play, where I am playing Ultima Exodus on the NES. Now, I just want to start off by answering some questions that are bound to come up. And they both, basically, there's two questions that might come up, and they're both basically, why this game? You know, there's three reasons why you might ask that. The first that you might ask why this game is that I said in the past that the next Let's Play after... Gibbs, I know. The next Let's Play after Sanctus Mortem was going to be Breath of Fire 4. I changed my mind. We'll do Breath of Fire 4 after Ultima Exodus. This is just an urge on my part to play something 8-bit, something classic. So there's that. Why this game? Why Ultima Exodus? And this is the third game in the series. There was Ultima 2, Revenge of the Enchantress, and Ultima 3, Exodus, and this is the NES port of that. So why play the third game instead of one of the first or second one? And why play the NES version and not the PC version? To answer both of those questions in what is probably going to be, to you guys, a very unsatisfactory manner, it's basically because I felt like it. This is the one I played first. It was one of the first few RPGs I ever played, along with, like the original Zeldas and Dragon Quest, which was called Dragon Warrior back then, in the United States at least. So it was like, I think I had played only Zelda and Dragon Quest before this, and then I played this game, and this game is really crazy. It's got kind of shitty graphics. It's obtuse as fuck. It's really, really insanely hard. It's basically like a PC game of the time, a CRPG of the time, except that it actually just looks like a Nintendo game because it has Dragon Quest style menus, because Ultima was controlled with a keyboard with every single letter of the keyboard doing something different, and they managed to boil that all down to menus, which works really well. Like I said, the graphics aren't that great in this, but it does have really cool music and sound, and it's fun. It's also insanely hard. Let's actually go in and just go with it. I gotta go to register, right? Okay. Now, 90% of this is going to be from memory, you guys, okay? And, oh my god, with the yelling. I'm sorry, I don't know if you guys hear that. Anyway, I do have maps up to help me with, the dungeons and stuff like that, but 90% of it's going to be from memory. I used to play this game a lot as a kid. My uncle had the cartridge. I didn't actually have it. My uncle had it. I'd go over to his house and play it. And I don't even think he ever beat this game. I certainly never made much progress in it, but I just liked it. I especially liked playing the beginning part and creating characters. The character creation is really fun, which you're about to see. I'm going to give you guys a rundown on that. We're going to create our party. And yeah, so I'm absolutely not going to go with the typical balanced party. I'm just going to go over, you see all those characters on the top of the screen? Those are the different character classes that you can use. You can create up to 20 characters and at any time make a party out of 4 of those characters. So you could do this adventure with up to 20 characters and just pick different characters to be in your party, just based on what situation you want to be. You can even have the game generate characters for you. We're not going to do any of that. We're going to use only 4 characters, and we're actually going to use only 2 classes. So anyway, just the top row from left to right, we have a fighter, a cleric, a wizard, and a thief. The second row, there's a paladin, a barbarian, a lark, and a shepherd. I think that's called the shepherd. And on the bottom is a druid, an alchemist, and a ranger. Now, a typical balanced party, if you look at any walkthrough, and I was curious... Hey, stop. I did look at a walkthrough before this just to see what do the experts, and I use that in quotes, at GameFAQs recommend for a party. And yeah, everybody was saying use a ranger, a paladin, a thief, and a lark. And I'm like, well, that's going to make the game harder than it needs to be. So anyway, we're going to break the game. So we're actually going to start with we're going to start and complete with 2 clerics and 2 wizards. And there's several advantages to this. Magic is ridiculously overpowered in this game. It's just really good. You want magic. They can't equip a lot. I think they get the clerics can have bronze armor and whatchamacallit, they can have bronze armor and then a mace as their best weapon. Maces are really cheap. And the wizards actually can only use cloth armor, which they start with, and daggers. And the way the daggers work is you could either slash with them as a melee weapon, or you could throw them. The thing is, if you throw the dagger, you no longer have the dagger. So you can do either one of two things. Don't throw daggers, or just buy a shitload of daggers. And they're very cheap, so you could easily just buy a lot of daggers. But I'm going to be relying almost entirely on magic here. So anyway, the reason that it doesn't matter with the equipment being bad for these characters is because each character can equip the Mystic Armor and Mystic Sword. So, and there is a way to get 4 of each of the Mystic Armor and Mystic Sword, and I'm going to show you that. So let's create some characters. We'll go through Handmade. So these are the races. You have Human, Elf, Dwarf, Hobbit, and Fuzzy. Now the Hobbit's called Bobbit in this version. I think there was like some kind of copyright thing going on. Because, Hobbits, that's a Tolkien thing. But anyway, we're going to make... the only thing that this does is it affects what your maximum statistics will be. So the Hobbits have a cap of 99 for Wisdom. So that's why we're going to make the Clerics. So you can put 50 points up to 25 in any given category to begin with. So we're going to give them 10 Strength. We're going to give them 15 Dexterity, and the rest put into Wisdom. Intelligence is for wizards. Wisdom is for clerics. So we're going to do that. Okay, and we're going to give her a name. Let's name her Sally. So that's funny to me. Sally's a funny name. I don't know why. It just is. I always thought Sally was a hilarious name. If you're out there and your name is Sally and you're like, hey, he's making fun of me. Yeah, a little bit, but, it's all in good fun. I don't know. It's like, we're going to Sally's house. We're going to get wasted. I don't know why it's funny to me. All right, let's make my other Hobbit cleric with the same exact stats. Strength is a little important. That's why I didn't put it all into Dexterity and Wisdom, because they need to melee sometimes because they don't have attacking magic. Okay, so there we go. Okay, and we're going to name her... How about Miley? This is a Miley. She looks like a Miley. Okay. Now we're going to make our wizards. The Fuzzies have a cap of 99 for intelligence, so we're going to do that. So I'm only going to put 5 strength into these guys because they're usually going to use magic. I'm going to put 25, into intelligence, and the rest into dexterity. So we'll do that. Okay, so this guy's going to be named... we're going to name him Flynn. He looks like a Flynn. That's what's in his heart. He's got a very distinct Flynn-like personality. He loves breakfast. And that's about it. Okay, so one more. Fuzzy Wizard, which sounds like a sex thing, but it's not, trust me. 20 dexterity and 25 intelligence. Okay, and we're going to name him Norm. I don't know why. He's Norm. Okay, so now you just go back and you form a party out of whatever characters you have. The letters after their names, like FBCG for Sally and Miley, means female, bobbit, cleric, good. Good is the status. Flynn and Norm, MFWG, male, fuzzy, wizard, good. Okay. And here's our intro where we meet Lord Vert. Look at these fucking graphics. It looks like Deadly Towers or some shit. Much better game than Deadly Towers. Not that I think that Deadly Towers is all that bad. It's just that this is better. Welcome, ye 4 brave souls. Exodus. Dreadful devil is about to wake up now in this region. If so, our world will be covered by shit. Darkness, brave ones. Seal Exodus and save this world. Get ready for your journey. And you're dumped off into the overworld of Cesaria. So let's actually go into the castle and actually talk to some people. Let me just actually, if you stay still, you get this thing. So it shows the characters' names and the thing that I pointed out before. Below that is their hit points. The thing that's below the hit points, which says F150, that's your food. You need food. If you run out of food, you start to take damage and you could die. And the M is your magic points, and the L is your level. Now, as you walk around, watch this, see? You gain magic points. So you can recover magic points just by walking around. Levels. This works very differently in this game than you might be expecting. Now, you do get experience for killing enemies, but everybody in the party doesn't get experience for killing enemies. First of all, you get experience for each individual enemy, and it's whoever kills the enemy. It doesn't matter who puts all the work into killing it. The one that gives the finishing blow, that, you know, even if it's just 1 damage, that's who gets the experience points. And you won't level up when you have enough experience points. You have to come back here and talk to Lord British, and then he'll raise your levels if appropriate. Also, the level cap in this, believe it or not, is level 5. You can get a special blessing, an item called a mark. There are 4 marks in the game. There's Force, Fire, Snake, and King. And the Mark of Kings increases the level cap to, I think, 20? I'm not really entirely sure on that. But anyway, for now, you can only get up to level 5. Let's talk to some people. Welcome to Lord British's castle. You're going to say the same thing, so we're not going to bother with you. I mean, we can just start leveling up now, but and getting money. But the king is a kind man. Half the fun of this game is talking to the goofy-ass NPCs and seeing some of the weird non-sequitur shit that they say. Yeah, it's not interesting. Hey, little girl, what's up? If you run out of food, you may starve to death. To think that this girl thinks that she has to tell these 4 adventurers that, like, they're... let's resave the game. Like, they don't know. Like, I need to tell them about the food thing before they go on their journey, because if they don't, they're gonna run into problems. I better tell them. I'm told that treasure chests are booby traps. Almost all chests have traps on them, which could give you a disease or damage you or even outright kill you. So most people like to keep a thief in their party to open the treasure chests, but I use the clerics because they have a spell to open treasure chests safely. Let's see. Please destroy Exodus. Well, I'm going to give it the good old college try. Are you descendants of Link? No, definitely not. If anything, we're descendants of Richard Garriott. Travel all over the world, into the ground, into the forest, into the sea, and the islands. That's what an RPG is, dude. We're doing that. This game is so poorly optimized for graphics. Like, look at this. 5 characters in a row. Oh, come on, stop moving, guy. We'll make it flicker. And you have 4 characters in your party. Be sure to come back. Oh, yeah, there's no reason to talk to Lord British because we can't level up. So see that, like, water-looking shit? That's actually a force floor. It's instant death if you walk over it. You need the mark of force to go over that. Oh, this is just the hospital. All right. Hospital is if you get a cold, or you are poisoned, or you are dead, they can bring you back. Only the brave venture beyond this point. Okay, if you say so. I don't have a key, so it doesn't matter, dude. The king is a kind man. Yeah, he seems alright. Seems like a decent guy. Alright, let's go to the royal city. Get some equipment and stuff. So most of the money that I get is going to be spent on stat ups, because when you level up, that only increases your max hit points. To increase your stats, you have to go to a different world called Ambrosia and pray at the shrines there. Well, actually, no, praying does something different. You have to donate money. When did Mundane perish? I didn't know about that. Dude, that was the first game. Ultima 1. Come on, I know I didn't Let's Play it, but come on. If Exodus is awake, what will happen to us? I'm so scared. Oh, so let me explain the story, kind of. The first Ultima game. The main character has to defeat an evil wizard called Mundane that's threatening the land of Sosaria. And then in the second game, Mundane's girlfriend, so to speak, Minax the witch, comes to the main character's world, which is actually Earth, and takes it over, and you have to employ all kinds of time travel and crazy crap to defeat her. And then in this game, it's supposedly about their kid, Exodus. So, like, Mundane and Minax had a kid named Exodus. Now, if you've played this game before, you know what Exodus actually is. The game hints at a lot of different things. It's a demon, it's a serpent, it's all kinds of different shit. What Exodus actually is really interesting, and I think I'm actually not going to spoil that. I'm going to keep it under my hat for anyone who's experiencing this game for the first time, or maybe never got to the end to see what Exodus actually is. So the pub is useless unless... they give you rumors if you buy a drink, but if you already know how to play the game and how to get through it, there's no use for that. They say the dungeon to the northwest... The dungeon is to the northwest of this dungeon. The dungeon! There's actually a lot of dungeons, but this lady knows about one. Can you spare a dime? Yeah, but there's no mechanic for me to give you money. I think this is weapons. Yes, it is. Okay, so let's get... Each character starts with 100 gold, and they each carry their own gold, so that's a whole thing. So get you a mace, and then we'll get Miley a mace as well. That's all the weapons we'll need until we get the mystic weapon. So let's go ahead and equip that. Oh, I should show off the menu. Let me do that after I get out of this. Actually, after I sell the daggers back. See, daggers are really cheap. We can get a little bit back. Okay, so talk is obviously to talk to characters. Magic is to use magic. And by the way, you have all the spells that you can currently cast based on your magic points. Magic points are key to wisdom for clerics and intelligence for wisdom for clerics, intelligence for wizard. So, yeah. As you get more magic points, you'll get more spells. You don't have to learn spells by leveling up or anything like that. Fight is just to attack people. Enemies will actually attack you on contact in this game, but you're probably never going to see me use this command. Status you just saw. Tools is to use items. Give is to give tools, weapons, or armor from one character to another. Get is to take things. Climb is to go up a ladder. Then you press select and there's more. So food will automatically share the food evenly throughout your 4 characters. Gold is to give gold from one character to another. Horses to get horses. If you buy horses, they don't actually make you faster, but what they do is they decrease enemy speed and then order to change the order of your characters. All right, let me pull my money, though. All right. Give it all to Sally. I don't know if I'm going to have enough for even one piece of armor, but I'm going to try. Otherwise, we'll just go outside and fight some enemies, you know? There we go. All right, how much does Sally have? Let's find out. All right, so Sally has 348. Okay, so we need 575 for bronze armor, and we need 2 of them. I've come here to buy armor. Okay, so we're going to need 1,150 gold. That's going to be the first goal. We're going to have several goals that we're going to have. And the first goal is 1,150. 1150 money on one character. What? You're going to fight against Exodus? How brave. I'm pretty awesome. We are an awesome group. What's your problem? A strange wind blows in the dungeon. That's my ass. Oh, sorry. He said something else. It plunges everything into darkness. That's also my ass. I think it's the grocery store. She says pub, but I think it's the grocery store. Yeah, you can buy foods there. So the best thing is keep the money on one character and buy all the food and then use the food command to share it. Oh, there's Sherry. I think she's based on one of the developers. This is a good town, so you should stay here. Do you really want to leave? Yeah, eventually. I am Sherry. Think me beautiful? Yeah, sure, why not? For 8-bit, you're not bad. Thank you. Next time, bring some flowers. So if you go to Ambrosia and you get flowers there, you can bring them to her, and she gives you this item called a compass heart, and the compass heart's actually just like an instant warp back to the castle. I thought I saw you down here. Come on, lady. There are fountains in the dungeon. Yeah, I know about the fountains. We're good. Fountains are a thing. So, okay, so basically we're just going to fulfill goals. So the first goal is to get, like I said, 1,150 monies to buy bronze armors for both of my clerics. So you just bump into these enemies. Now the enemies that appear when you're level 1 and 2 are like this. These are goblins. So goblins can easily be killed by the repel spell, which basically is a free spell that wizards have that can kill goblins and orcs. And the clerics have a spell. Wow, he got them all. Called Undead, and that can kill skeletons and ghouls. Unfortunately, the wizards level up slower because skeletons and ghouls give more experience. Let's give Norm a shot here. Now, the way that Repel and Undead works is it basically kills enemies standing on randomly selected tiles. I almost said titles. Tiles. So basically, it also has a 50% chance of failing. Now, if you notice, I'm hitting it each time because whether or not the spell fails outright is actually based on what frame of the game. Wow, more goblins. It's crazy. What frame of the game you hit the button on. See, like I'm going to hit repel when the wizard's foot is on the right or the cleric's is on the left. And as long as you do that, you're going to easily wipe them out. Now, like I said, you only level up when you talk to Lord British, and there's actually kind of a strategy to not talking to him. Like, you don't want to level up too quickly because then stronger enemies appear. And you don't get more money for beating stronger enemies. You do get more experience, but you have to put more into it. There's actually a town right there, but I want to wait on that. I want to clear out more enemies first. A ghoul, but it's only one. That sucks. Oh, nope, see, I did it wrong. I hit it too late. That'll hit. Oh, and you always use the open spell because almost every chest is booped. 36. It's random. It doesn't matter how many enemies you kill. It's just completely random how much money you get. Alright, there we go. Why not? The wizards need a little help too, because like the enemies that they're killing are worthless. Oh, right. Other side for the clerics. Duh. 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 Oh, yeah, you don't want them to stack. Because if you kill 2 enemies in the same spot, you don't actually get 2 chests. Alright, so I got some orcs here. So this is the really super simplistic battle system. The orc looks like he's like dancing, like he's tapping his foot, you know? He's like grooving out to the beat. Can't guarantee that I'll hit the spells correctly every single time, but you know. Yeah, so there's towns all over the place. I may at some point just go to the towns just to talk to the goofy ass NPCs. U is like right there. There's also Gray, Dawn, Moon, and Monter East and West. Oh, I'm using... no wonder. I'm like, why is it failing? Because it's orcs. One of the towns is hidden. It only appears at a certain moon phase. I'll show you that when it becomes relevant. Actually, to be honest, I might want to go to that town now. And the reason that I might want to go to that town now is to steal an important item. Basically, the best armor is the Mystic Armor, and the best weapon is the Mystic Weapon. Now, to get them, you need items called picks. There's a gold pick and a silver pick. The gold pick will dig up, I believe, the armor. And the weapon is the silver pick. Now, the silver pick you actually get in a dungeon. The gold pick is in a shop in the hidden town, which I'm going to show you where that is now. But yeah, when I get there, that is. But the whole deal with that is that you have to steal it. It's not for sale. Now, stealing is actually really doing it. And actually, I'm going to have one of the wizards try to steal it because they have higher dexterity. And hopefully, I can get it. Now, I won't be able to get, even though I get the pick, I won't be able to just go to where the armor is and get it right away because it's on an island, which you need a boat for. And to get a boat, you have to defeat a pirate ship and take their boat. And pirate ships don't start appearing until you've actually reached level 5. So actually, even though my first goal is money, I'm going to take a little detour to get, as I'm fighting my way there, I'm going to take a little detour to get the gold pick. Just because it's good to get it out of the way as soon as you can. And I'll show you where the town of Dawn is, how to get it to appear. Like I said, I'm doing most of this from memory, but I do have maps of Sosaria and Ambrosia up, and like dungeons and stuff like that, So you go down this way. Oh, so many enemies. Wow, I'm not complaining about it because I need both the money and the experience. And the enemies at this level are no threat at all. Killed his ass. How am I doing on food? Let me see. Oh, well. Oh, yeah, 125 each. We're good. You always want to occasionally check your food because, you know, you don't want to run out of that, trust me. Especially if you're like in Ambrosia and there's no shops or anything there. Oh, my bad. Hopefully that gets him. No, wow. Miley, you need another chance at that. You just pass. The way I'm passing turns is just with the B button. Hey, come on. Alright, we got goblins. Yeah, see, like, the goblins and the orcs only give 3 experience points. That's kind of the thing. That's why the wizards level up slower. So you kind of hope that you run into more of them, or occasionally take pot shots at the other enemies. Once you get different enemies, you can no longer use repel and undead on them. So, there's that. So then it becomes more difficult. So you just keep going south, basically. Alright, we got ghouls. Alright, cool. Wow. There are enemies everywhere. Sometimes it's completely random where they appear and everything. Sometimes you walk around forever and there's nothing. And then sometimes they're just clustered in one spot, which seems to be the case here. I'm not complaining. Like I said, we need as many encounters as we can get in the beginning of the game. So, like I said, first goal is to get money, with the secondary kind of side goal of just stealing that pick. And then after that, the next goal is going to be reaching level 5. And then once level 5 becomes a thing, we're going to pick up the Mystic Armor. And then everybody will have the best armor in the game. I'll show you how to get it for everybody. I don't know if it's intentional that you can get the Mystic Armor and the Mystic Weapon for every character, or if I'm exploiting a glitch. I'll kind of explain it when it happens. So this is not a super long game. It's super long if you don't know what you're doing and you're trying to unravel Byzantine clues given by the very few townspeople who say something that's actually relevant. But, so if you know what you're doing, most of the game is just fighting enemies and trying to gain levels. It is fully possible, very hard to, but possible. Speedrunners do it all the time to beat the game at level 5. You're required to get to level 5 because you absolutely need ships. You need ships to get to Ambrosia, and you need to get to Ambrosia to pray at the shrines and get yourself the items needed to kill the last boss. Another thing is, out of the 4 marks, so they do different things. The Mark of Kings, I already mentioned, increases the level cap. The Mark of Force lets you go over the instant kill tiles without dying. The Mark of Fire lets you walk over lava tiles without dying. Let's take this guy out. And the Mark of the Snake lets you destroy the snake that's guarding Exodus's castle, so you can get to the castle. That one, actually, you can skip that. I'm not going to, but you can totally skip it. You can use a moon gate to go right to the island where Exodus's castle is. All right. You can't go in because there's a moat around it. And normally you have to destroy the snake and sell your shit right up to the castle, right? But there's a chance, however slim, there's a chance that when you go through the moon gate that brings you to Exodus's island, I think it's called Fire Island, that you can spawn a pirate ship there, defeat the pirates, and then take the ship into Exodus's castle. Oh, okay. More orcs. Alright. Oh, what the hell, man? My bad on that. Now, hopefully Norm here gets them all. Almost done with the first video and I've barely accomplished shit, but it's okay. Already got the maces. The next thing is just the armors. Really? Alright. And the reason that I want to get the pick now, there's actually a very good reason to get it now, is that basically you have to stand there and cycle through the moons, just like keep hitting pass turn by hitting the B button, and make the town appear. It only appears when there's 2 new moons. And there's a very possible chance that you're going to get attacked. As you're... There's so many enemies. Holy shit. I'm not complaining, but I'm actually getting really lucky with these enemies, and fuck. Is it me? Is it going faster now? It's me. Anyway, you don't want to get attacked by something dangerous while you're waiting, you know what I mean? You want to actually just, you know what, let's just do this. So it's good to do it before you've leveled up. Notice that flame actually costs 25 magic points, which is the current cap. No, don't have Miley do it. There's no reason for that. I really got to clear out these enemies, though, or I'm never going to be able to show you where the town is. As a matter of fact, after this battle, I'm going to end the video, and I guess we're going into town on the next one. Because we're at 30 minutes right now. Bitch. Alright. And ghouls. I have never seen this many enemies clustered around one spot, and that was my bad. I'm not complaining, like I said, it's just... I said after that video I was going to end it, shit. Well, I got attacked like right away, but I could have just ended it right there. Nothing happens until you press buttons. Alright, I'm going to stop right here. I'll see you guys real soon with more Ultima Exodus.